Okay, so we
Okay.
got a bunch of questions from Midnight Mark Senior, and a lot of them were really
Of
good. But
of Columbus, Indiana. Listener
yeah,
of
Columbus,
Columbus,
Indiana,
Indiana.
yeah, and he had a lot of really great questions that were pretty deep that we kind of want to mull over. So we decided this week we'll just ask one of the more fun ones, I guess, rather than the deep ones. Is he asked, why are beards so popular right now? And I think it's like similar in the vein of
Interesting
like,
panel of people to ask.
Literally
yeah,
3 bearded people.
it's a good question to ask.
But
I
it's
think
funny
it was
too
sort of-
because
it was-
go ahead.
No, I was going to say I think it's sort of in the vein of like are beards now kind of like as mustaches in the 80s and 90s, like are kids going to think beards are weird looking? Maybe, I don't know. So go piano man.
But what I think is funny is like you look at pictures of the 60s and 70s and dudes always had beards. I just guess like the 2000s maybe we didn't have as many. I don't know. I feel like people have always had beards. That's why I think it's kind of a funny question.
Well, no, I mean, when you look at movies from like the 40s and 50s and stuff, like your main character people, like they were always clean shaven.
Okay,
They were
gotcha.
always like clean cut. You know what I mean? Like even now, the president doesn't, always clean shaven. That's kind of seemed to be, but now it's like, I don't know. It's sort of a norm to have one, I guess. Like you see a lot of actors now, like really famous people that they have one all the time.
Yeah, I got
And
you. That's a good point.
It's not like the hippie type actors. Go ahead, JVN.
I'll tell you why. Beards are more popular now because if you look at the relative, if you made a chart, you could directly chart the popularity of beards with the obesity epidemic in America. Because beards hide your fat. That's why they're
I do
so
think
popular.
women think they're.
That's why Ryan Gosling has a beard.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying everybody who has a beard, but when it gets popularized in society, just like anything else, just like St. George Floyd, like we have to go in hard. Like everybody's like, no, this is the thing now. We gotta have beards. I think there's something to that.
I was going to say additionally that especially during COVID time, like there's no reason for you to like present yourself as like clean because you could just sit in your house all day and never have to leave. So why shave your face if you were the shaving type? I mean, I have long hair for the first time in my life since COVID. I was like, what's the point of cutting my hair? So that's where it's at for me.
Well, some guys just look better with it, And there are like, there is sort of a, I don't know, sort of like a sex appeal type thing to some people, right? Where some women like men that have beards.
Some men like men that have beards.
Right.
Let's not be
Yeah, I mean, you can be a
exclusionary.
bear. Yeah. You can definitely be a bear.
So have we talked about like the idea that the comeback of the beard might be sort of a longing for a traditional masculinity?
Yeah, of course we
That
cover that. No, I'm
lost
just
in
kidding.
the
No,
modern
that's all you.
world?
Yeah, go.
Take it away.
Go.
That's good.
Teach us.
Well, you think like if you think of like the old timey like people that lived in ancient times,
Yeah.
you picture them all with beards, right?
Like
And
the
I mean,
Vikings.
probably they didn't all have beards. It depended on
Jesus.
culture, I think. But like a lot of the people, like all the people in the Bible, you picture with a beard, right? Because that was a thing in Jewish culture, and that men had beards. So I feel like sometimes, like when it comes back that men want to have beards, I feel like it's we want to get back to the roots, of being a man with a giant beard that can be like "Rah," and lift a giant log or whatever.
Can we throw that
I
on
don't-
mute?
Mute preacher Paul. Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Mute that phone.
Yes.
For his terrible
Just-
take?
just
Are
the-
you saying mute him?
No, say it.
Yeah, your phone was ringing earlier.
Oh, you mean my phone?
I think that's not a bad point. That's
I
not
thought
a
you
bad
meant my
point.
microphone. Oh, that was the timer. That was the timer that I set for our first segment. Then I left my phone here, and then
Yeah, we just talked right on through that.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's what happens.
Making all the points.
Yep, that'll be fun for Piano Man to edit out.
I think you actually may have made a pretty good point. I still stand by
Words.
my fatness claim to a certain extent, but I think that maybe there was a longing
Oh no, it
for
makes
a
sense.
time gone by. We all long to be Abraham.
But it also makes sense along that same vein is like the people who were shaven were probably like richer or upper class. Like that's how you signified that you were like royalty or something. I don't know that that's true actually, but maybe that's why people.
Oh, probably
That's why
so.
people were like,
I think it would
yeah,
depend on
people
culture.
were like shaving
Yeah.
because they were like, oh, this is like a status symbol. I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then, but now we're gotten to the point where we don't care about that.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, actually, because I don't care to shave my face. Now that's a status symbol.
I mean, that could
It's
be
just
right,
like how
because
back
I
in the
know
day,
people would use
Yeah.
their like servants and stuff to shave them because of the way
JM, go ahead.
they couldn't
Sure.
get to it all or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's a good point, because if you were shaven, a lot of times that mean you had someone do it for you. If you were rich enough for that, it's not a bad point.
yeah. I mean, it's similar to like back in the day when people used to mute their
Well.
phones, you know. But
I'm not gonna mute my phone. You can all suck it.
Dude, can I just say,
I might have if you hadn't asked.
the preacher
but now I'm
has been
totally
salty
not going to.
from like when we were doing our mic tests and everything. The salt is piling up.
he's anxious. He's about to enter into the land
I'm
of
sorry,
prosperity.
guys.
Is it anxiousness or is it angst?
No. There's that. Well, it's a little bit of both. I got a lot to do tonight, including recording a couple podcasts and packing for my trip tomorrow. So I was just not having any foolishness. But I mean, it's whatever. I'm having fun.